Okay, welcome to another edition of Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. I got my producer here, boy band John. What's up, John? Shout out to our sponsor, Defend Hawaii, for the gear. Today on our episode, I have one of the District Dimes from District Nightclub. She also is a business owner. She owns Hawai'i Assistant, and she's the marketing director for Sloth Bands. Her name is Ka Nani. What's up, Ka Nani?
Hi, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Good. How you doing? You're welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a little hot lately, but hoping it'll cool down, with the AC.
I know they said it's supposed to get cooler, but I don't know. The weatherman always changes his mind every day.
50% chance of being 50% right, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So what? Districts shut down. I know it's affecting me. It must be affecting you, right? Like there's nothing for us now.
Yeah, I mean, it was really so sudden and so weird, and we're all just kind of trying to roll with the punches. And I miss working. I miss my routine. I miss seeing the ratchetivity every weekend. That was the highlight of my life.
The ratchetivity.
Yes, I miss it so much. But yeah, it's definitely different. We did open back up in July for about 3 weeks, and
I was there. It was fun.
It was weird, and everyone was it was just such a strange, atmosphere. And so who knows what the future holds for us, with the nightlife and bars in general. But I hope at some point we get back to it. But we'll see.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to trying to get back to the club, but it's been rough. They keep us in limbo the whole time, and it's tier 1, tier 2, when do we get to, and then when we do open, is it going to be how it was for those 3 weeks where nobody could even come near each other? Right. And it was it was just weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even I think bars and nightclubs technically are in tier 4, but even in tier 4 it says to be determined. So it's what does that even mean? So who knows what it's going to look like. I mean, hopefully 2021 will come back and people are probably going to wild out, and I'm ready for that. But I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, to me, it might go either way. People might be too scared or hesitant to come out and party, or it's finally we can let loose, let's go. I don't know how it's going to be, but
I know.
I hope that everybody's ready to rage out, but I mean, in a safe way. I don't know what to expect.
I know. What does that look like? Can we even be by each other? Are we all going to distance again? Wear masks, don't dance. What is the scenario? I don't know. I hope it can go back to how it was pre-COVID, but
who knows? Sure. So for people who don't know, a District Dime is pretty much a bottle service girl, but you guys also host and pretty much do everything. How did you getting into that?
I honestly kind of idolized the District Dimes before I started working for them. I was literally so obsessed with Katie Daly, and when I got the opportunity to work with all the girls, I was really, really stoked. So it was really exciting, and it was a change of pace. I actually got hired last April, I want to say. So this year April would have been 1 year, but we were closed. So that's really sad. But I know, but it's been really fun. I mean, I've definitely made a lot of friends with all the staff, lots of fun memories. And yeah, I just really love it. It's really a lot of fun. And, all the stories of what we see, and what we deal with. But in the end, the friendships that I've made with everybody, the barbacks, the bartenders, the other bottle girls, it's definitely worth it. So
the district workers are a tight family, and I know all of them. They've been that way for a while, and they definitely take care of everybody in their little circle. It's been crazy to think okay, so if we're not at district, what are you doing now? What have you been up to?
So when COVID first hit, I was actually still in school. I was finishing up a certification for paralegal studies. And honestly, it was kind of rough because it was such a weird time. I didn't know what I was going to do. I had originally planned to find a job working in a law office. But then, as COVID started to progress and the numbers started going up, jobs started getting less and less because money was, of course, was getting tight, or people didn't want to see other people. So I was kind of in a weird little rut for a moment. And then honestly, my boyfriend, he's like, you know, you have a lot of skills and you helped me with Sloth Bands so much. So why don't you do something where you can help other businesses? There's a lot of people who don't know what you know. And I'm sure that they would pay someone to just help them and cut through all that years of experience that I have just to get it done and finished. And a lot of people I've seen over, you know, the past couple months, people are getting inspired to do a side hustle, do something else, because a lot of their main income wasn't affected by the pandemic. So I was really fortunate. And in the beginning, I really doubted myself and my services because I figured who would want to pay, you know, for it. But I was very wrong. There's a lot of people who will gladly pay for the help. So I'm really, really excited and so blessed and fortunate that a lot of these people trust me with their business. So I've just been working with a lot of local companies. Like, that's my specialty. I really want to help Hawaii's economy, Hawaii's, you know, entrepreneurs and Hawaii's small businesses. I really, really try to keep it local. And I know that a lot of small businesses also want local help. They don't necessarily want to hire out. So I think it's good that we're all trying to, you know, work together, you know, through this hard time. So yeah, I've met some really interesting people, you know, virtually, you know, over the internet, and it's been cool. I mean, I've been helping a lot of different types of business owners, from like interior stylists to skincare companies to nail artists to lash artists. Like, I've been helping so many different people, and it's amazing. And I just love it because I like the variety. I don't like doing the same thing every single day. So it really fulfills that need in me to,
I understand that.
Yeah, because I mean, sitting at a desk every day doing the same thing, like, that sounds really like boring to me. I want to be inspired. I want to be like, I like learning. I'm kind of a nerd. So anything that can fulfill my need of learning, it's great because I'm learning so much about all these random industries. So I'm like literally an encyclopedia of random knowledge. So.
Okay, so what you've been talking about is you started your own company, and that company, you kind of help assist other companies to get more business. Is that what it is? Wait, what's the name of your company? Let's put that out there first.
The name of my assistant business is called Hawai'i Assistant. I'm on Instagram. It's hawaii.assistant. I'm also registered to do business in the state of Hawaii, and my business title is Hawai'i Assistant LLC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm legit. And so I basically just provide services to businesses. So whatever they need necessarily, whether their goals are to increase clientele or their goals are to, you know, get down like a system for their marketing or a strategy for their social media, or they just need behind the scenes help because, you know, no one can do it all. So freeing up their time so they can do what they're good at, and I can do things that I'm good at, because there, you know, we have strengths and weaknesses. And even when it comes to like my boyfriend, for example, he's really great at like wala'auing. He's Mr. Aloha. He has great clients. You know, me, not necessarily so much, but I'm really great at putting the packages together, telling him like what looks good, what doesn't look good. So it's just trying to complement these business owners in whatever capacity I can.
Oh, so how do you approach these people? Do you like look for them online, or do you get referred, or like what is your strategy on that end?
So for me, I've been actually so blessed that I haven't even really been looking or inquiring really with businesses so much. A lot of my first clients were all people I already knew from years of like being friends or connecting or doing whatever other businesses I've done. So honestly, a lot of my clients are acquaintances or friends, and then also they refer people to me. I only have had a handful of people who I've never actually met, but it's very, very few and far between. So like I said, I'm very, very blessed where people actually seek me out. And I just make sure that on my social media, I just give a lot of value and I give a lot of good content. And then, you know, people can decide like, hey, wow, she knows what she's talking about. Like maybe I need her help. But for me, I'm a very no pressure type of person. I really don't want to be in people's DMs like saying, hey, like, do you need my services? Da da da.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's not my style. I would rather someone come to me and say, hey, I need your help. I'm just like, cool. How can I help you? What can we do? Like, what do you want to do? Let's do it, you know?
Oh, that's the best. So say I have my own company, like for my podcast, and I say, hey, Ka Nani, I heard that you do these Hawai'i Assistant business. So how could you help me with what I'm trying to do with my content and to get it out to people and try to grow this brand?
So there's a lot of different steps. I think when it comes to like your goals, you want to expand and get more, you know, being more noticed, you know, being more on the top of everyone's mind. So I would definitely come up with a strategy of like, hey, you know, we need to post content, good content regularly. So posting, you know, short clips of your videos, like to tease it before it drops. You know, having like interesting people come on. Of course, you have interesting people, but like really, really pushing like this person is from this, and you're gonna want to hear the tea on this. You know, make it like, oh, I want to know like what's going on. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
and really, really like like have people have their attention be grabbed. I think so far you've had actually a really, really great start. So I think
Oh, thank you.
yeah, for a lot of businesses, I've noticed that they're actually off to really, really good starts. It's just more of like they need that extra oomph or that extra push to like really, really amplify their content, whether it's like including more shareable content or creating more personal content. I know sometimes with brands, even though there's some businesses, they don't really want to show their face. And I totally get that. But this is a little tip that I've learned from my business. When I first converted my Instagram to my business Instagram, I had just placed basically a logo on my picture. And I noticed that any business that I had followed or anyone that I started to follow, they didn't follow me back because they're like, what the heck is this? Like, who is this? I don't care. But as soon as I put my face, you know, people can identify with a face and they trust a face. So I noticed way more businesses followed me back. They were more intrigued. So that's just a little tip that I personally learned. I'm like, so
But then again, they probably like to follow hot girls versus a logo, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I could get the same response you would, you know what I mean?
um, I mean, yeah, but that's why, like, for my Hawai'i Assistant picture, I keep it, it's like literally me in a haku and it's just like neck up. So it's nothing
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
too, you know,
District Daimi.
no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. More, you know, more, you know, G-rated, you know, very simple. And I wanted to show people like, hey, I'm a local girl. I'm not some random, you know, girl from the mainland or whatever. Like I'm from here, you know, whatever. So, yeah. So that was just my advice. I know there's a lot of brands, like I said, like with you, if you put your face, like I'm sure it'll be fine because they're like, oh, it's sad, you know, like, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna follow
It's like,
him.
oh, him again. He got something else going on.
But yeah, so that's something that I recommend even for my clients. Like a lot of them don't want to get too personal, and I get that. But honestly, like popping in a couple posts here and there to talk about yourself so people can get to know you, it really builds that connection and that trust, and it makes them want to, you know what you have going on next. They want to see what you're posting next because we're humans. We want to connect. We want to see other people. And especially now during this time where, you know, even though we're kind of connected, it's not quite the same. So just
Sure.
anything we can do to create like a bond, I think is like very human nature. So yeah, that was something I learned and it was very interesting. And I've shared it with a bunch of my clients. So
Oh, that's awesome. So how did you like get into this? Like what kind of sparked you and how did you learn how to do all this? Because you went to school for it or you just picked things up as you went? Because I did meet you back in the day. You were the manager at a bikini store. What was it called?
Born
What
of
was
the
the
Water.
bikini? Born of the Water. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember talking to you and I'm like, oh, wow, this girl is not just a pretty face. She's actually smart, has goals, and she has kind of something driving her. And that's kind of rare nowadays, especially in Hawaii. But so how did you get to put this business together? You went to school or you just from working, you gained knowledge, or how did you come about with that?
Honestly, I've been a hustler since I was 14 years old. Always was trying to look for a job. I always wanted to work. I always had this need to, not only make money, but I just always wanted to learn, like cool things. So I'm really grateful that one of my mom's really good friends, she hired me at her fine jewelry store in Kailua when I was a freshman in high school. I would work once a week, like it was money, but it was still like a lot for me. I could go Starbucks with my own money. But, I really, really enjoyed it and it taught me a lot. So through the years from 14 years old to now, I've only worked for a majority of small businesses. So I really picked up a lot of cool knowledge and cool facts from each business. And even both of my parents are entrepreneurs too. So when I was young, seeing my mom hustle, seeing my dad hustle, I really, really was instilled in me like, hey, you can be self-sufficient, you can be self-reliant, but you got to work and it's not easy. You know what I mean? You got to get up, you got to do it, even if you don't want to. So just seeing that, I think, especially my mom, like she's such a hard worker, she was in the fine jewelry business. So I actually picked up a lot of stuff just watching her in action, watching her talk to clients, watching her, she has the gift of gab and she has the most beautiful smile. So I'm just like, okay, mom, I hope that rubs off on me, like, please. But, she's a great negotiator. She's honestly like my inspiration, literally. So growing up, me and my brother would just be with her every weekend from Friday to Sunday, and she's hustling, Friday to Sunday, going to Waikiki, talking to all the clients and stuff. So, being around that, I just really saw like that drive and all those cool things that I learned, like, how to mail stuff out at the post office properly so you don't get overcharged or overpay for certain things, or how to label things, how to be organized, just little like skills like that really molded me and helped me to start my business. So even with Born of the Water, I was able to introduce a lot of ideas that I had learned from small businesses, as well as a couple of like bigger companies that I worked for. So I created like our employee handbook. I created like our sales thing. I, tracked all of our sales. I knew how to organize all of our items, how girls should show up to work, what our policy should be. So literally everything from scratch. But that was started from the years leading up to it, as well as my mom's influence. My mom actually came and was helping us to train our staff to up our sales. Like my mom is really, really talented. My mom, could slang like $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000 pieces of jewelry. So she's like, $100 bikini, that's no problem. Let me show you how.
I got this.
Yeah, she's just an animal. I love her. But yeah, so I think with Born of the Water, it was just, learning all the things of being a small business, dealing with retail, just the whole realm of retail. It's its own beast. And, we were in Ala Moana Shopping Center, and that's an amazing opportunity. But, if I could go back in time, realizing that brick and mortar going forward is kind of dying out. It's really sad to say this, but it's just not the same as it was
Correct.
10 years ago. 10, 15, 20 years ago. Like I remember going to Ala Moana when I was like a kid, and it was always popping like every weekend, no matter what time it was, like choke people. But now it's like, even with COVID too, like some stores are still closed because everyone shops online now, and Amazon is just where it's at. So yeah, brick and mortar is like really, really dying unless you had a stakehold in like being a brick and mortar like 20 years ago. People of course are still going to come see you, but if you're a business starting out now, I really suggest get an online presence, because that's cheaper.
For sure.
It's way cheaper than dealing with being brick and mortar and having to advertise and having to deal with like all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
So that's crazy. So I understand now, like how you get your hustle is from your mom and your and your parents. So your mom instilled that in you in an early age, and it just kind of grew, which will probably be passed down when you have kids and stuff. Is definitely something that I try and instill in my daughter. I try to have her see what I do. Like she's in my room now listening to me do this podcast to kind of let her see that, oh, daddy's doing stuff, and show her by the example. So that's crazy. Like, cause I always thought of you as a hustler. Now it makes sense. So now I want to meet your mom, cause she seems like she got some kind of action, and she pass it on to you, and now you're running with it. That's super dope. Like, but Born on the Water, yeah, that bikini store. I remember we went there for the grand opening, and I was blown away. Like, it was in Ala Moana. It was yours and one of my friends, and it was just crazy to see. And I was like, wow, I'm super proud of you guys. It was nice, and you guys had your stuff together. You guys knew what you guys had to sell. You knew what you needed to do. You marketed everything. The store looked immaculate, and I was really blown away just going in there. And I'm not a bikini shopper, so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Born on the Water was definitely my baby. I really loved that store, and I really put a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears into that, man. Like, it was a lot of hard work, but now I'm here, and I learned so much from that business. So I'm really grateful and really blessed with all the people that I met through that business. So yeah, I mean, all the trials and tribulations, I'm, helping clients now to avoid those things. And that is good to me because, sometimes you struggle and you never realize why you struggle, right? And then later on you realize like, oh, okay, this is why I had to go through what I had to go through. Like, everything happens for a reason. Let me take my struggles and turn it into something good for somebody else.
Oh, that makes sense. At least you learn from your experiences. I sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I like to think, okay, everything is a learning experience, even if it's not a good one. You learn what not to do.
Right, exactly. It's all how you look at it. It's all your interpretation. But yeah, as long as we try to just improve and we just try to grow, that's all we can really do. So.
Yeah. So so now you carry this wealth of knowledge and confidence when you go into business meetings or when you have to talk to these business owners. Is it nerve-wracking? Do you get nervous? Because at first, I know when I had to do these things, like, I'd be stuttering. I would look insecure or whatnot. And then finally, I kind of developed my niche and was like, okay, this is me. I'm coming in like King Ding-a-ling. You guys need my help. This is what I can offer. And like I told you yesterday, like, once I realized what my value was and what my worth was, I had to go from there and not waver and be like, okay, I can offer this and this is what I'm worth and I can't devalue myself. Is that the same with you, or you're still learning how to do those kind of things?
I'm still learning. Fortunately, I haven't really been meeting people in person. It's all been like phone calls or over Zoom. So I feel like for me, that takes a little bit of like anxiety off of me because I'm actually a very nervous, anxious person. I'm like super like socially awkward, but a lot of people don't realize that about me. But yeah, I'm just really
I wouldn't have gotten that from meeting you.
Yeah, I'm really, really anxious like all the time. Like, even at district, it's so funny. Like, half of us girls are like so anxious like at work, and like we're just anxious little balls of energy. But people just assume like, oh no, you guys are confident, this and that. I'm like, oh really? Do I look that confident? Like, that's good. And then I'm just
you definitely do.
No, I'm just nervous half the time. Like, I'm just so nervous. But yeah, I mean, like right now, because like I said, I haven't been seeing people in person. It's a little bit easier for me to talk on the phone, so they don't really see me. But that doesn't mean that I'm still not sweating for whatever reason.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, for sure.
Anxious. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to value as well, in the very beginning of my business, I just had this kind of negative kind of self-doubt where I told myself like, no one's gonna pay for this. Like, they can learn this themselves. Like, no one has money right now. Why am I gonna do something when people don't have money? And I don't wanna charge a price and they can't afford it or whatever. It was just, I was coming up with all these kinds of excuses as to why people can't pay me what I'm worth. So
that makes sense.
I'm still learning. How to charge, because that's the hard part with my industry is like, it's kind of a new industry. So there's really no like guidelines. So it's like, I'm kind of learning as I go, kind of trying to see what other assistants and other, states and stuff charge. But still, it's like, it's kind of seeing what I'm worth, seeing what my knowledge is worth, to other people. And I've come to the point where I've realized like my knowledge is super, super valuable, but also trying to be sensitive that I'm helping Hawaii businesses. It's really expensive to live here. And if I charge $50 an hour to do something, like, is that sustainable? Like, am I really helping that business? Not saying that there's people who aren't worth charging, the $50 an hour, but it's just like, for me, it's like, how many hours do they need me? What do they need done? So it really, really, really just depends on that. So I'm just trying to be sensitive to where we're at, in this pandemic, as well as, hey, I don't want to get resentful, at clients when it's not even their fault why I'm charging less. You know what I mean? It's this weird kind of limbo spot that I'm in. But yeah, when it comes to value, I kind of realize like, hey, like my knowledge is valuable. It's, it's years of learning, it's years of struggle. So I'm here to help. And if you can't afford it, that's totally cool. You can still look at my Instagram. I still have really good content on there that you can hopefully use. But of course, you're not going to get the cream of the crop because that's reserved for my clients.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
What I would do in business too, when I was first starting out, I would do a performance based. So what I would do is be like, okay, this is what, like, if I went to a nightclub, I would go in there and learn weeks before I approach them. Okay, what are their numbers like? How are your sales? Like what kind of people are coming? And I'd do research and I would have it all in my head. So when I came to them, I'll be like, okay, I know what you guys are doing. I know your guys' numbers. This is what I can do for you. Mm-hmm. And if they didn't believe me, I'll be like, okay, give me one night and I'll prove it to you. And I'll do it. And then now they know my value that I already knew. And now it's like, okay, now we can sit down. I prove it myself. You know what I can do for you. So sometimes performance-based kind of shows people like, oh, it's like a drug dealer. You give them a little bit of drug and then, okay, I'm going to take it away or you can pay for it now. Oh, that's the best way. That's the best way I can describe it.
Oh my gosh.
Speak from experience or?
No.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool, like, performance based. I think like with my Instagram content, people see like, oh wow, she kind of does know what she's doing. And I even have like proof is in the pudding. I've had my friends try out some of the strategies that I've done and they're like, wow, like it really worked. And I'm like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Of course it worked. So they're like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. That's so valuable. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just trying to help everybody. It's not a big deal. So I think it's just like having those people, like, they're kind of like, I don't know, let me try it. And then when it works for them, like those are kind of like, in a sense, like my testimonials. So if I have friends who try my strategies and then they like tell me like, oh my gosh, it worked. I'm like, cool, I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to put it on my story because some people might not want to try it, right? Because they're like, nah, she's just talking whatever and it doesn't really work. But, showing that, multiple people have great results from it, like, hey, this works, you should try it, go ahead, it might work for you too.
Okay, so what I'm thinking is I'm gonna need to get a hold of you after this podcast and try and figure out some strategies to take this to the next level. I think that might be a good thing.
Yeah, of course.
What I did know is I do follow you on Instagram, and then I noticed because of your boyfriend, who I knew for a while, he has a company called Sloth Bands, and I feel like from when you kind of started helping out with that, it like reached a different level. And for right now, what is a sloth band? Like, so people understand what I'm talking about.
So Sloth Bands was created by my boyfriend. His name is on Instagram is at Coach Konia. So his name is Justin Konia. He's actually been in the gym industry for almost a decade. So he's met a lot of people. He also used to be, he also used to work at Ginza and a couple other nightclubs and stuff. So he's been around and people know his face,
Yep.
Girls
Shout
probably
out
know
to
him.
Justin.
I know. People know, most girls probably know him from the gym. Most guys probably know him from the club because they were doing something they weren't supposed to do. Yeah, so anyway, he really did a good job, I think, in the beginning of his career, building up to coming out with a product that was synonymous with him and his career. So Sloth Band is basically a resistance band. And you know what? Let me go grab one real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep,
So I can show
definitely.
everybody.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so this is the Sloth Band. So cute. This is our cotton candy ombre, and it has a buckle. So it's actually adjustable, and it has like a non-slip on the inside, which is great. So if you're, doing any abductions or anything like that while you're exercising, it doesn't move. So what my boyfriend said is that when he was training his clients, before, he would use those weird rubber weird ones.
Oh, yeah. The ones from
Yeah.
Target.
Yeah, like those ones. And he hated it because he said it's weird on your skin. It smells gross. It gets caught. It used to get caught in his leg hairs. So he wanted to create something, and also that didn't rip. So these are kind of like, I don't know if you can see, but it's like kind of like a cotton poly blend. So it's definitely lasts longer than those, junky rubber
So it's
ones.
like a adjustable resistance band.
Yep.
Okay.
So this, the cotton candy ombre is his bestseller. This is, of course, the adjustable with buckle. This one is really great for exercises that require weights or a barbell. So if someone is doing a hip thrust and they want to use the band for added resistance, they can just clip it and unclip it. Versus, if you got some thick thighs, wiggling this on is kind of hard. When you're like
that should
underneath.
be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard, especially if you're like hip thrusting 300 pounds. You want to just be in and out. You want to just be really quick. So
somebody might strangle himself with that thing. So those resistance bands, those are the ones you see in the gyms, like where girls are trying to like tone their booty and their legs. It's like that's the hot item, right? Like, because I see his videos and he's basically has classes with girls using those things, and I know some of them, and I know how hard they are trying to get their booty to look nice. So it's pretty much the Sloth Band is a booty builder, right? Or like what kind of exercises and gains do you get from it?
So it basically can enhance like your whole regimen. So I mean, during the quarantine, Sloth Bands really blew up because the weights and dumbbells were going for crazy prices because everyone was like, oh shucks, the gyms are closed. I want to get a good workout in. We can't work out anywhere. So literally during the first quarantines, our sales were through the roof because we didn't raise our prices at all. We didn't do any price gouging. We kept everything consistent, everything the same. So the Sloth Bands are actually like pretty versatile. So even if you wanted to do some arm exercises with them, you totally could. So like with this one, like if you wanted to like put your hands through it and like push it, like, oh my God, that hurts. But like, anyway, like you pull it through, it like activates. I don't know if you can see like back here, but if you do those,
But the
and
resistance is pretty strong then. Huh?
It's pretty tough. So, you can use it for a bunch of different things. And the fact that it's adjustable, even if you're trying to do like toe taps, like plank toe taps, I don't know what they're called. But if you can make it wider, so then, it's just added resistance. Even if you wanted to do like weird arm curls, like literally you can put this like underneath your knee and just like lift it, like doing that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
I even have.
So it's versatile. You can work pretty much any body part with that.
Yep. So this one's really great, like I said, because it's a little bit more adjustable. We do have some that aren't adjustable and they're a little bit thicker. And we had varying resistances. We had a really tough one. It was like our black belt, one, but that sold out real quick in the first quarantine. We had a neon one that was more medium resistance. We have a snakeskin one. We also came out with a long resistance band. So that one is really good. It's like the really, really long one. So again, you can more versatile exercises, for your core, for your arms, that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, that's super awesome. I think I'm gonna buy one and strap it on a tree and shoot water balloons at people with that much resistance.
You definitely could.
Yeah, I see. You know what I notice is from your Instagram, you took this slot band marketing to another level. Like I seen you have like a team of girls. Here's they're doing these video shoots, and it's like, how do you get that? It's like a production. How do you put all that together? It's pretty amazing. And some of these girls, they're like known in the industry, and it's kind of cool to see them all about it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't really take all the credit for that. Justin has trained a lot of amazing, like high profile type of, girls throughout the years. And so we're really just lucky that I know them, he knows them, they want to help us out. Like they're just down to be a part of it. And shout out to Redefine Media for always hooking it up for
Oh
us, for
yeah,
doing the shoots.
Evan.
Yeah, they're always hooking it up and, helping us out. So, like I said, really blessed, really grateful that we have so much support, from everyone we know. But yeah, putting together the shoots is kind of a production because we don't want to take up too much time. And sometimes in the Redefined Media warehouse, it is hot. So I want to be in and out because I'm in the shoot half the time too. So I start to get sweaty and then my makeup starts to get crazy and my hair starts to get crazy. And then I feel bad because then when we're doing like the group shots, like we're all touching each other and I'm like, sorry, I'm sweaty. And I'm like telling everyone I'm sweaty. So, yeah, it is a whole production, especially if we're having to bring items for all the girls. I have to put together like an item list of who has what, who we're giving what to, keeping track of that, as well as, Justin, for the most part, he kind of will text all the girls, see who's available. But when it comes to like how to position everybody, he kind of doesn't know how to do that. So I kind of have to be the boss when it comes to the shoots. And I'm like, so-and-so, you go over there, you go over there, you do this, you do that. And then just get it done. Bing, bam, boom, we're, out. So, we, when it comes to like the marketing stuff, he really likes white, like really clean, really white. So I made sure that when it came to our social media, our actual posts are all white, very clean. And it just makes the girls stand out more, I think, as well as the products, because we want to showcase both. We're really blessed that we have so many different personalities and different body shapes and different flavors, honestly, that, support our brand and our friends. So we want to make sure that our brand is inclusive and not exclusive. So just trying to showcase that as much as possible.
That's awesome because I see it everywhere, and then there's people I know that got it. People that I know that don't know you guys, like, oh, I got this sloth band. And it's like, oh yeah, I know those people. I could honestly see you and Justin on Shark Tank and trying to market this thing on a global level. Because I mean, like you're right. I've tried to get dumbbells and stuff when the pandemic started, and I couldn't get anything. And then people are like price gouging, like you said. My friend just showed me on Instagram. He called me up and was like, hey, there's dumbbells for sale. It was 40-pound dumbbells for $150 and they're all rusty and stuff. I'm like, bro, you better not buy that. Like they're just ripping you off because they're taking advantage. But at least your product is out there and people can get it. And I mean, that's good. Like in the pandemic, like is one of the items like toilet paper you gotta work out. So I guess people needed it.
Yeah, it was definitely a need, I think, and it was affordable. You know what I mean? It was affordable and it was pretty like easy because I mean, most people want something that's pretty easy and it's light. Like it's so simple, it's so easy.
Yeah, you can take it anywhere.
Yeah, and it doesn't take space in your house like a pack of dumbbells does. This can fit in a pocket or a purse. So, yeah, I mean, really, really blessed. Like I said, really fortunate. But yeah, a lot of girls, like, it's so crazy to me, like how many girls like will tag us in their stories of them working out. And I'm like, wow, like we hit, I think in our last launch that we collabed with Rave Wood, we hit 1,000 orders in 1 year. Like that was insane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was really insane because we had launched the website in August 2019. So to just see that sheer amount of numbers, like, wow, like there's all these people all across the world, like we've gotten orders from Canada, Peru, all over the United States, all over, the different islands in Hawaii. Guam, just all these different, people all over the world have their cute little sloth bands. So it's like really, really amazing and so like sweet and awesome.
Oh, that's good for you guys. You guys also sell not spandex. What do you call them? Leggings, right?
Yeah, we do
Yeah, I'm
sell
such a
leggings.
dude. I don't know the difference.
No, yeah, totally. We do sell leggings. That we have biker shorts. We have different types of leggings. Of course, bands are like our hot ticket item. Leggings are just kind of like like additive, I guess. We wouldn't be a like gym brand without having like some leggings. But we are looking to collab with one of our friends, Hula Barbie. And we are really, really excited for that collab because she's got all these ideas. So potentially we're going to be seeing some really cool new items, within the next couple of months. So really excited for that.
Oh, that's something to look out for sure. So let's see. So you're marketing Sloth Bands, you're Hawai'i Assistant business entrepreneur. When did you start that business, by the way? I forgot to ask you that.
When did I start? I think I officially kind of launched it in May, like June-ish. That's when I kind of really started to take it more seriously. And then I registered my business, I think in August or July. So that's when I was like, hey, like this is actually a real legit thing. Like I really need to be taking it seriously. And I feel like once I start taking it seriously, people start taking me more seriously. So
Well, that makes sense.
yeah.
And then when it reopens, you're gonna go back to being a district dime.
Yeah, I really miss it.
Yeah.
For me, my goal is I'm trying to own property before I'm 30. So, having a night, 2, 3, everyone in Hawaii has 2 or 3 jobs. We're all trying to hustle. So yeah, district, working on the weekends definitely can help me get to that goal of owning property. So, yep, I can't
that's
wait.
good. Yeah, it's scary though. Like for me, I've seen so many girls get into the industry and get stuck. The money's good, but then they release all their goals and dreams, and because of the money and the industry, and then you see them as time goes by just get older in the industry, and it's kind of sad sometimes. But I feel like with you, that's gonna be just a stepping stone to get you to the goals that you want. It's cool because it's a fun industry to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I first started out in the nightlife industry, I
Okay,
was
sorry.
18. I was 18, 19. So, I know what you're talking about,
Oh, so
seeing girls.
district wasn't your first
Nope.
gig then?
Nope.
Oh, what did you do before that? I didn't know that.
I used to bartend at a tiny little lounge on Hopaka Street before when I was like 18, till I was about 20, I want to say. So that was like my first nighttime gig, and I knew that it was, it was good money, but I know it's not for me. It's not going to last forever. For me, it's just like, hey, I'm young. I can do it now. I don't want to be doing this after, I'm 30, because for me, my goal is to, of course, have a family. Totally not talking down to anyone who continues to be in the nightlife. But I just know for me personally, that's not where I want to be when I get to, 30, 31, 32. So I know, like, for me, my goal was, okay, I need to get out before I'm like 28, 29. That's ultimately the goal. Because once I achieve that goal of owning property, like that's my ultimate goal. And then I guess I have to get a big girl job at that point, so, but I want to have fun too. And I think, I want to live my 20s and have fun and meet people and just live it up. And I think, working in the nightlife, it allows me to have fun, but also make money at the same time. But of course,
for sure.
Yeah, you see all kinds of cool stuff, you make new friends, it's just really, really fun. And I think with district, it's not a toxic really environment for me anyway. Everyone's really tight, everyone's really cool with each other. So it really is a lot of fun, and I would always look forward to, going to work with all the girls and with everybody. So yeah, district, it's not a forever thing, and I know that because, time goes on, and sometimes you get over it and it gets old. And I'm not quite at that point yet, but at some point I'm gonna have to pass the torch, probably to someone who's younger or whatever.
I know if there's a torch to pass, I'm not sure like what's gonna happen when this thing reopens. But how did you actually get started at District? How did you get hired there? Because one day you just showed up. I'm like, hey, wait, I know her.
Funny story. So, one of the owners, he actually like messaged me on social media, and he wanted to come by the bikini store because he needed a bikini for a shoot, because he like does photography and on the side. So he had come to the store, and then we're just talking story, and then he's like, oh, so, we're looking for, like, he just said it in passing, like, hey, we're looking, for bottle girls. And I was like, hello. And he's like, oh yeah, how tall are you?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm like, I am ready. Like, let me know. He's like, how tall are you? I'm like, I'm 5'7". He's like, okay, you're tall enough. I'm like, geez, you act like that's short. But I mean, they want a consistent look, I guess.
Taller than me.
Yeah, I have to wear some massive heels because some of the other girls are like literally Amazons, and I feel so short next to them. But
try all the time. You guys come out like gangsters with like you're half naked with like all taller than me and swinging around fire, and like I'm just like on the side like, oh, okay, I gotta stay out of their way. Everybody's all super nice though, but you guys come out hot and like ready. You guys aren't playing around. Ready. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ready to go. No fun here. No. But it was funny because it was just like really spur of the moment kind of thing. And I was at a point in my life where I needed something different. I was going through a lot of changes, a lot of transitions. And I was like, you know what? I need to do something. And so District was kind of like addition to the changes. I started working out. So that's actually around the same time I started working out with Justin.
Nice. So that's how you met him.
Actually met him because I had won a really cool self-love giveaway. So his classes were included in that self giveaway that a local business did. So I won like a facial, I won like a shopping gift certificate. So it was just like all these little things. So his classes were actually part of it. And winning that self-love giveaway, it kind of told me like, hey, I need to focus on me. I need to, worry about me. I need to do something different because I wasn't really stoked at where I was in my life. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. So that self-love giveaway was kind of like the gateway to all the changes. And so then I started working out, started getting more confident, got hired at District, and then started helping with Sloth Bands. So it was just like so much was going on last year, so much change, but it was really, really great. And I'm so happy that I went through all that now, because then I feel like this year with the pandemic hitting, it really helped me get my, stuff together so I could create my business to help other business owners.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can get District back and all these nightclubs and stuff. I mean, everybody misses it. I talk to a lot of friends in the industry, and man, it's like just try to be around each other, and you don't miss it until it's gone, and no one ever expected it to be gone or to be anything like what it is now. Even those 3 weeks that we were open for a little while, and it's good to see everybody, but it still wasn't the same. So hopefully we can get it back. Well, let's see. Let's wind this thing down. You got a lot going on. Let's have Boy Band John ask the question. John.
Question is, what are the 3 craziest things that's happened to you working in the club industry?
Dad, you want to go first?
One of them, one time I was in the bathroom and the 2 stalls are together, and I came out of the farthest stall and I was passing the first stall, and I guess the guy in the first stall couldn't open the door, so he flung it open as hard as he could, and that thing just smashed me right in the face.
Oh my God.
And immediately it started to swell up. And I was like, what? And the guy was so apologetic, but I was kind of mad. I was like, bro, he's going to smack. And then one of the bouncers, I think Foa, came in and he's like, "Right, you good?" And I'm like, "Okay, I cannot let this escalate. He's gonna see me in here with a big thing on my head." And this was a white guy, and I'm thinking, okay, Foa's just gonna mash him, because you know how the bouncers are when it comes to the employees
Taking
and to
care of
us.
everybody.
Yeah, and then we're close with them. So I had to like, "No, I'm good. And I was a little bit concussed because I was like not right. I was lit. So I came out a district, like you can come out the door and just take a right and go all the way out through Juliana's, and I just went home with this big thing on my head. It was like and I'm calling everybody, trying to tell them like, "Oh, I'm not coming back. Something happened," and I didn't like. No one's gonna believe I got hit in the head by a bathroom door. So like, I didn't want it to turn into something bad. So that was like one crazy thing.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. The second one was I came out of district one night, and I went to my truck, and I was leaving, and this car was next to me in the parking lot, and I know the valet, so he would just throw me my keys and I can leave. And I wasn't too tipsy or anything, but the car next to me was super close, and it was a nice car, like Tokyo Drift kind. It was all yoked out and was super racing kind. And for some reason, when I pulled out of the parking stall, something on my truck hit his car and ripped the whole bumper clean off. So no. I pulled up, and I just heard a noise. I came out and I looked at my truck, and I'm like, oh, okay, I don't even have a scratch. And I look at his car, and his bumper's on the ground. And I'm thinking like, okay, now I'm gonna get in some trouble. Like I had some drinks, so I gotta get out of here. So I told the valet to take my truck, keep me around the corner. And I gave my business card and have him call me, and I'm gonna explain to him, and I'll make it cool. Like I'll make it cool. So I left, and his bumper's on the ground. And then he called me up the next day and was like, "Hey man, I'm calling about my car," and I apologized to him. Fortunately, he was a nice guy. I took care of his car. I got everything fixed for him, and to this day we're friends. So shout out to Carlos, whose Tokyo Drift car I messed up, but he comes to our events all the time now. Like it was so I got a friend from that, but that was pretty crazy because it could have went bad real fast. Like if somebody see me. The last one I think is this girl punched me in the eye one time, and I don't know what was going on, but she was mad at her boyfriend, and I tried to like kind of de-escalate the situation, and which I shouldn't, because I'm not a bouncer, but she just forced me in the eye, and I was like, what happened? Then she got kicked out. But I was like, a lot of times this happened to me. Like these girls think, I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm not tall. These girls think they can take me out, so they like chance it. So yeah, I got punched in the eye at district, and it's like, okay, well, that's my 3 craziest things at district. I could get into crazier stuff, but let's just keep it like that. But yeah, I don't know why girls like to punch me, and none of my other friends have that problem. And it's because I think that I'm not as big as my other friends, so they think they can try to chance me out, or I don't know. And it's like a lose-lose situation because I can't hit back, so I'm just standing there holding my eye, and I look like a dummy because a girl just punched me. So it's like, okay, now what? Like,
you poor thing. I know, and it's because you're so nice too. So that's probably it. It's the combo. They're just like, he's nice. I'm just like 1-2 call Lou real fast. Like he's not gonna do nothing.
Exactly. If they knew I was a ninja, they might not have punched me.
Oh, you poor thing. That's pretty wild. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna just keep it to District 2 because I've seen some wild things at other places. So I'll keep it PG. So I think one of the very first interesting things that ever happened to me at District was a married couple propositioned me to go home with them. And the wife did. the wife came up to me and was like, I've been watching you all night. I think you're so gorgeous. You know, me and my husband were on vacation here. We want to know if you want to come back up to our hotel with us. And me, I was so taken off guard by it. I was being really nice. I was like, thank you so much, but I think I'm good. Like, I just didn't even know what to say. Like, I appreciate like the offer, but I'm okay. Like, thank you. She's like, you're so pretty. Like, please, please, please. I'm like, I think I'm okay. Like, it was just really, I felt really bad because she was being really nice, but I'm like, no, I really don't. I'm not really into that. Like, no, thank you. But she was so nice. So it's just a weird conversation. And I was just like, what the heck is going on? Like, cause she came up to me like, and I thought she just wanted to talk story, but then I was just like, so I have a question. I was like, oh, what? And then she's like, yeah, you know, and she like dropped that bomb on me. And I was just like, whoa, you know, I wasn't expecting that. So that was one thing.
That's pretty intense. I don't know what I would do in that situation.
Yeah.
Were they ugly? Like, would it have helped if they're good looking, or like if they're hot, or?
I mean, for me, I'm not into that. I mean, like, to me, they're like strangers and they're on vacation. I don't want to be kidnapped and killed. I watch too much movies like that. I'm good, you know, like go missing, you know, and I don't know. I don't, I'm not into it.
Well, I guess for them, they have to shoot their shot. If they're on vacation, they ain't gonna see you again.
I guess so. I guess that's the mentality. But yeah, so that was one. Another one was I had sat down, I had served a table, and then I was asking them how they wanted their drinks, if they wanted mixed drinks, chilled. They were drinking Hennessy, and they had water back. So I had asked one gentleman, oh, did you want a water back? Did you want just chilled Hennessy? What, you know, he's like, he mumbled something in my ear, and it's really loud in district. So he mumbled something, and I heard something water. And I'm like, okay, water back? He's like, no, your bath water. I was like, oh, okay.
Did he think you had it with you?
I don't know. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna carry a bottle of my bath water for you weirdos. Like, I don't know. So that was very. I literally didn't know what to say to that. I just kind of looked at him and I went, made him the shot, and I dug out because I was like, what the heck just happened? That was the most strangest thing. And then I guess the most recent one.
That's super random.
It was so weird. I was like, well, like, people really want my bathwater. That's gross. Like, okay, that's strange.
I heard people sell that online, like some of these like influencers and stuff, they'll sell like their socks, sometimes bath water. I was like, maybe you could make a killing doing that, sell it in your business.
That's some weird.
kananisbathwater.com.
No, that's so gross. I don't even want. No, that's nasty. I mean, I'm sure there's some fetishes and people who would want it, but I'm good. I don't want to think about someone. What would you even do with it? Smell it? Drink it? Like, any of that is disgusting. I'm good. What do you do?
I wouldn't want to know.
I know. I don't want to know either. And I think
that's even more random than the first one.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa, like it was just so off guard. And then I guess the most recent weird thing that happened to me was actually in July when we had opened very briefly. There was this guy who came in with his tables, and he seemed like, you know, they had gone somewhere before they came to district. So they were just, you know, having a good time, partying, whatever. And, you know, we're all wearing masks. We're all supposed to social distance and all that. So I'm squatting, you know, because we have the really short tables, right? So I'm squatting down, trying to make them drinks. And then all of a sudden I feel like a briskness go through the back of my hair. And I'm like, what the frick? You know, and I'm squatting and I turn around and I look at him and I'm like, can I help you? And he's like, oh, I just want to see if your hair was soft. I was like, okay, that's fine. Like I don't know if I'm more upset that he touched me without my permission, like touched my hair without my permission, or he didn't confirm if my hair was soft. I don't know what I'm more upset about.
What is what is the grading of softness?
Yeah. Like, how do you, I have no idea. he didn't answer the question. So I'm just like, hey man, you left me hanging. You know, you went through all the effort to touch it. Can you just let me know? Like, is it soft? Is it passable? Like, but yeah, it was so random. I was just like, it was just like a weird, like, it just was weird. He didn't like pet me, which I think would have been more creepy, but it was like, he literally went like that. I was like, oh, okay. Because if he
Maybe that
pet
was
me,
his
it would have been
line.
oh, it was weird. I don't know. I'm just like, what the heck, dude? But anyway, so yeah, that's my three. Definitely, I'm sure you and I both have way more, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
That's crazy though. I mean, yeah, it's like I always see you guys doing your thing, and it must be hard because like bartenders, they have a bar in front of them. Like you could be a hot bartender, and like at least you have that buffer zone where they can't touch them, or like for you guys are like pouring their drinks, and like you guys are like pretty much in their VIP section, and those VIP sections get crazy. I mean, you guys come out with sparklers, and you guys are pouring shots, and people are drunk, and that area is not that big, so it's like, yeah, you guys are like dressed in
Very
what?
scantily clad clothing. Yeah.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely I've had to master RBF working there because I'm a very smiley person. Like I feel like I have a pleasant disposition, but when it comes to the nightclub scene, sometimes guys interpret that as like, oh, I can shoot my shot. Like, nah, I am working. Do not talk to me. Like, don't interrupt me. If I'm beelining it for a table and I have sparklers, do not get in my way because I will elbow you because it's
Or
dangerous.
burn you.
Yeah, it's dangerous. So I'm not trying to burn you. One, two, I'm trying to get to my table when it's like literally a sea of people and everyone's drunk and I'm like literally yelling like, excuse me. And I'm literally like elbowing people and I have like glass, champagne glasses or a bottle or something. So, all of us girls, unfortunately, have had guys try to grab at us, do weird stuff, like especially when we're walking in the crowd. I've pushed guys before because like they try to like do some stupid stuff and I'm like, yo, like get out of my face. Like it's ridiculous. But yeah, we're in the danger zone when we're out there on the floor with our, cheeky bottoms and everything like that. So trying to get out of people's way, trying to get to the table, trying not to burn people, trying not to drop these bottles, I think is the most anxiety I have because people spend $300, $400, $500, $600 right on alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Last thing I want to do is drop it. So trying to hold it, while it's like slippery or whatever, and then like fire or drunk people, especially when it gets really, really busy. Trying to finagle with glass and everything is kind of a difficult undertaking, but we get it done.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. I would drop everything and I don't know. I guarantee I would burn somebody. And plus, too, those sparklers don't last that long. So you got to get to the table and do your little thing before the sparklers go off. So it's like, get out of my way.
Yeah. And the sparklers get really hot. So if you don't hold it at the very bottom or hold it correctly, it will burn us. And it's like really, really sore. Like there's been times where I've like, my finger was like so sore. Like I've actually like, I've scooped ice out of the like ice bucket for the tables. I've scooped ice and I had to like shove my finger in the ice, or I have to shove this stuff like really like fast because we do the dance and then I'm like, oh shit, it's like really hot and I have to like like kind of like hide that I'm like burning or anything. But yeah, or we want to make sure like we don't throw the sparklers away right away because last thing we want is like a trash can to catch on fire.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So sometimes what we do is like if there's like an old drink or something, we literally will throw the sparklers in there to cool it down while we're pouring the champagne and then we throw it away. But yeah, you can't just throw it away in the trash because it will melt the trash and it'll catch fire and that's not a
well, if you do, then next time you come on the show, that could be another crazy thing that happened to you at district. I'll probably be there too.
Oh my gosh. Imagine like the fire sprinklers like going off. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All the electrical stuff.
Were you there when the pepper spray bomb went off in district?
I was not. I wasn't there yet, but I heard about it. I heard that it was like Ginza and district got hit with it, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Justin told me all about it.
Oh, did he catch a whiff of it or?
He was working security at Ginza, and I think what had happened is they did it at Ginza one night and then they did it at District the other night, or it went off at the same time. I wasn't sure.
Was District then Ginza, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was working at Ginza at the one night when it did happen, and he was like, yeah, people were running out, like their eyes all watering and stuff. So it was actually super, super crazy because I guess there was beef going on with another club. So I guess that was the outcome. But yeah.
I've been in a club, I think it was paparazzi when the cops came, and I seen the cops spray it just to spray it. I don't know if he wanted, like, he's just being a dick or like he just always wanted to spray it and that was his chance. But I didn't even catch a big, I didn't get a big blast of it.
Yeah.
I just got like a hint of it, and like my eyes was like, it was bad. And I'm thinking like, oh man, like I think that, and the worst is somebody one time at District dropped them stink bombs. Were you there when that happened?
No.
There's these little vials of like doo-doo water, and like they threw it on the dance floor, and eventually somebody stepped on it. And I've never seen District dance floor clear out that fast. And I'm thinking like, what happened? So I'm like looking, and I don't know what happened. And then when I caught the smell, I was like, somebody shit their pants on the dance floor. Like, but it was those little, it was like a little glass vial, and they had like 3 of them.
That's disgusting.
It was the most rankest smell. It was like giraffe doo-doo or something. I don't know what it was. It was like,
God.
that was, and I like how, like, we couldn't continue. Like, what are you going to do? How do you get that smell out? Like,
oh man, I feel bad for the barbacks who were working. Oh,
that was a bad one. I forgot about that. We brought that up. Yeah, it's like too, when they do that kind of stuff, it shuts down our night, and then we can't make money.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, people don't realize like there's a lot of things that go into it. So,
like, who does that? Like, oh, tonight I'm gonna do the dance floor at District. Like, they order it online, or like that's a premeditated shit. It's like, okay, I got my keys, my wallet, my doo-doo bombs. Let's go. We're out. And it's like, okay, now.
I know, like, yeah, you're getting ready, or you got your shoes, you got your belt, you got your nice like club attire. Yeah, let me bring some vials. Like, what the frick? That's so random and so gross.
Yeah. Well, Ka Nani, has been super cool talking with you. I definitely appreciate you coming on the show, and I'm definitely going to talk to you about some marketing strategies, because not just for my business, but for some friends ones that I think could benefit from what you have to offer. I'll definitely get in contact with you for that. Shout outs to anything and all your Instagram tags and websites.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I post all of my content, and I post pretty regularly, if not every other day. And that is at Hawai'i.assistant. Sloth Bands, you can follow. It's at Sloth Bands. And if you end up purchasing a Sloth Bands, but you don't know how to use it, you can go ahead and follow my boyfriend. His handle is at Coach Konia on Instagram. He does upload little tutorials here and there, and you'll probably see me with no makeup on, looking really sweaty, because I am in most of those tutorials, but they're really fun. And yeah, I guess that's about it. You can always reach out to me through DM. I answer and check them every day. So yeah.
Right on. So if you're a local Hawaii business out there and you want to try and level up, give her a call. And for us, our handles for Instagram, YouTube is Above the Bridge Podcast. And you can also find us at atbpod.com. Right on, Ka Nani. Thank you very much for being on our show. Aloha to everybody out there. And as always, shout out to the Artist Groove Network. Peace. Aloha.
Bye. Thank you so much.